and here we're allowed to look down inside. I wonder why the stilts. Was the ground wet there? But those, for the homes? And yet those buildings not, of course. Great models, aren't they? Ah, yes. Love the overhanging balcony idea. Look at this home. The family of its day, this could not be any better. Perhaps these are little purses. Eggs, Christmas or Easter eggs. How pretty. A whole collection of these. Pretty art form, that is. And so understandable that it should come from ordinary people, farmers. And you would think perhaps that the designs indicated, like the costumes, each group or village. How could anyone ever break one of these to eat what was inside? They're far too beautiful. Not sure how well the camera can pick up any of this. Here, a very clever egg tray with a little dish in the center for condiments. Like salt. How cool is that? Contemplative Jesus. Little noisemakers, clappers. That's interesting ecclesiastical garb. And who knows what this device was or what its purpose was. But they're certainly proud of it. Women carrying their baskets of bread. I love pictures like this because I wonder what they were thinking. What they did after this picture, what they said to each other, what they thought about what the photographer was taking the pictures for. Did they appreciate that they were a curiosity, that they were interesting, that what they were doing was unique? And what lives did they live afterward? The young girl, was she affected by this photograph? Did they ever see this photograph? Reasonably modern styles of bread. Some ladies working on the eggs. And of course, she could never imagine that someone decades later would look closely while she worked at this moment. and a couple of ladies comparing the eggs they've painted. I'm in the history part of the museum, which is relating the history most definitely of the couple of, if not more, national liberation movements against the Ottomans, against the Germans. And this is a picture of, no doubt, some of the people in the liberation movement. If we Americans could live inside the minds of these people for just a minute, we might appreciate the tremendous country that we have, or had. I can only visually probe, but the enthusiasm and the exuberance, certainly they were entitled to it. Their cause was just, and their courage, commitment could not be challenged. Most of us never face those circumstances, nor can our smiles ever be as justified as theirs. I can't even tell if this picture is a nice picture or a really nasty picture. Characters, actors in a real, live movie. Prurient hardly. I'm in the Iconography Museum portion now, and I'm only recording that which truly interests me. Beautifully carved old door. Reminds you of something the Chinese would do. Except they would not be restricted to mere design. This is probably Eastern Orthodox because it has personages in it. It reminds me of Ghiberti's baptistry doors in Florence with the little panels. What a wicked looking thing. This iconography exhibit is funded by UNESCO, and I'm sure it's a magnificent museum, but you have to be a scholar, I think, to appreciate what you're looking at, or at least spend enough time to become sensitive to what you're looking at. Many of these items are probably coming from iconostases, particularly these long ones. And some of these square ones would have been inserts in the wooden wall. And these, the doors in the iconostase, leading back to the priest's inner sanctum of communication with God. Only a cynic like me could wonder what kind of people push these doors open on a continuing basis. In other words, what was their motivation? What did they do with their power? How did they justify it? Okay, I'm looking inside of what I think is the hammam, or whatever, just using the camera's telephoto lens.